Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Unscripted. Today is a really special day because I have with me today my mother, Linda Allman. And we're going to have a great time just talking, and we're going to get into talking a little bit about the ministry that my mom runs here at New Life Church. But before we do that, I just want to introduce my mom to you, and I want her to just talk for a few moments. And Mom, first of all, where did you grow up as a little girl?
As a little girl, until I was 11, I grew up in the southern part of West Virginia.
Okay.
Okay. When I was 11, I came to Ohio.
Yeah.
And I've been, other than a couple of other states, I've been here ever since.
So, I know everybody, not everybody, but because there's a lot of people watching this that doesn't know our testimony as a family, but especially your testimony. Talk a little bit about your background, and then when did you maybe start going to church, get saved? Because I know a lot of people, they look at our family and they I don't know, but I would assume they sit there and say, oh, you guys have always been in church. No, not even close.
Haven't.
So go ahead and tell the folks a little bit about your background. And
well, my background was I was the youngest of 13 children.
13.
And my mom and dad worked night and day, 7 days a week. So they would go to church, but only for special events. And they didn't have time. And
it wasn't
totally
like,
working.
it wasn't like you were anti-Christ or you didn't believe in God.
No,
You've always believed in God.
They taught us about God.
Yeah.
They taught us morals. They taught us all about thou shalt nots, all the 10 Commandments. They taught us all of this, and they lived it.
Yeah.
And that's just the type of family I came from. They were not perfect, but they were great. I had a wonderful mom and dad.
Yeah, so you very much, like a lot of people watching, very typical American Christian family, good morals, all of those kind of things. Talk a little bit about when you met Dad, and then what happened after that. It was all downhill from there.
I want to know everything. No. Well, I met him in high school, and we lived on the same street. Okay. 7 houses from each other. He was Fonzie cool.
He was the epitome
of Fonzie.
My dad was the epitome of Fonzie or Elvis, one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other. Yeah. Yeah. But we met actually because of my fundraising. I've always been into doing, you probably don't even know that.
I didn't
There's
know
a lot
that.
about me you don't know, son.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I was always trying to help people and do things, and
you've always been like that.
I guess I have. I got that from my parents, though. That's the way they were. And so I met him because he played music.
Yeah.
Well, when we did fundraisers, we needed band.
There you go.
I mean, hey, so you got to know the leader.
Yeah.
So no, and no, we married in 1962 and had Denise and then you. But before that, I had started going to church. I was probably 14 when I went to church and got saved for the first time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Notice I said for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think that happens to a lot of people.
Yep.
I went to the altar. I felt that tug at my heart at that age. And I went to the altar. And then after a few weeks of doing what teenagers,
Yeah.
just go about doing. I just quit going.
Just quit going.
But the good thing about that is, and I want to make this point. My dad, before he died, 2 weeks before he died, he called that same pastor that I went to church, and he came to our house, and he prayed. My mom told me this. The sinner's prayer with him.
Yeah.
Knelt before God in the living room floor. That same pastor that I got saved under when I was 14 came to our house and prayed with my dad before he died. And so that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
But I did backslide. And then in 1980, when I almost died and they told you guys I was going to.
Yeah, one of the first of many that I remember.
I was out of it. I was like, I wasn't in a coma, but I didn't know anything that was going on. But I talked to God, and I remember that, and I telling him, if you will just let me live, God, I'll just serve you, and I'll do whatever you want me to do. And that was in 1980. And I came from that, and got back into the clubs.
Yeah.
And there I go again. You go downhill, or backsliding a little bit.
Yeah. So
But he never let me go at that time. God didn't let me go. He just kept pulling at me.
Yeah.
And until I feel like he got a hold of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. A friend, Randy, we'll call his name was Randy. I know that Dad got to know him at GM, and he kind of led Dad to the Lord along with other people that were witnessing. But Randy really is what got you guys going to church in Lake Milton there, Lakeview Assembly of God, which is the church that I got saved at. You guys got saved about a year before I did, a couple years?
Maybe a year. Not quite, maybe.
Really? Yeah. And one thing, Mom, that I know you remember this story because I've often told this, but I remember what convicted me, because you guys had quit going out into the clubs and all of that, and I was still playing with a band that I was just, that I dreamed about playing with. They were just awesome musicians. And I remember going out to the club one night, because this is when I was playing 7 nights a week. As I was going down in the entranceway of our house, here's what you said, and I can remember it as if I was there right now. And you said, Dave, if we're not here when you get home, the rapture has happened.
Well,
And I mean, it was like somebody punched me right in the heart.
we had that picture of the rapture. up
Yes. And I thought about that my whole drive over to the club that night. Oh my gosh, I don't want to miss the rapture. And anyway, those words are what brought conviction upon my life, even though I didn't change right away. But yeah. So you got, okay, so
you
here,
did change, but you did. God was working in you.
yeah. And just like you said, back to your story, God was working on you. And I know the people may not know this, but there have been many, many times you've been in and out of the hospital, and many, many times, well, she's not going to make it, or this, that, and the other thing. And God's hand was on your life. And like you said, internally, God was tugging on you and working on you. And so I do want to stop and say to anybody that's listening to this podcast, whether it's your children or your grandchildren, or maybe you're a young person, you got a mom or dad, don't stop praying for them. Don't stop talking to them about the Lord, because you may say one thing that's going to stick with them, and it's really going to mean a lot to them.
That's right.
So as you got saved, and this is one thing I know about my mom, she's already said it, but when she's always helped people. And when she got saved, she got into the church at Lakeview Assembly of God, and she jumped in with both feet. Both her and my dad did. They were worship leaders, But far more than just leading worship, my mom has always been involved in raising funds for missions and other things, doing dramas and things like that. Talk just a little bit about that, and then we'll get into the other aspect of this. In other words, what motivated you to do that? You know, most people, they come to church, they get saved, and they sit on a pew, and a lot of them don't do anything. Not true of New Life Church, but I'm just saying in general, a lot of people do that. What motivated you to get involved?
That's just my personality, because if I'm not doing something for someone, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And right now, with the things I've been kind of going through health-wise, I think that I'm struggling with that part, because I can't get out and help people like I want to.
Yeah.
And that part it's really hard. But yeah, that's what I did. Drama. I had our women's ministry.
Yeah. You did a lot.
I always worked with Operation Christmas Child, even with, as far as packing.
Yeah.
Wasn't in charge at Lakeview. Another person was for years.
Right.
But I always did a lot of boxes and loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And when I came here and had the opportunity, Dallas asked me if I would take over Operation Christmas Child, because he's so busy.
Yeah.
He's one, a great
He's our
guy.
missions director.
Yeah. And I said, yeah, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
And that's where I've been.
Let's talk about this thing that some of you may not have heard of. It's called Operation Christmas Child, and it has everything to do with a simple shoebox. And my mom's going to tell you a lot about this, and we may even take a walk downstairs and show you our Operation Christmas Child, OCC room, and how we pack shoeboxes and send these shoeboxes. These boxes, folks, they go all over the world. Talk about these boxes, Mom. Tell us about
Those boxes go all over the world, mostly into the regions where they can't be reached, like in towns or cities. Some of them do go to those places, but most of them go into mountainous regions where it takes, they go by camel, they go by elephant, they go by trucks, they go by but because you usually can't get there by car.
Even
they
like
walk them
canoes and stuff
Yes,
down a river,
yes.
they put these shoeboxes on.
Yes, and the children that live in these territories and communities, they've never had a gift in their life. And our children in this country, look what we have, look what they'll have, look what you had when you were young.
Yeah.
And
not every boy has a G.I. Joe.
True. And but that's why I enjoy packing the shoeboxes so much, because I guess when I was young, I was poor. I didn't know it, because we had plenty to eat and everything because of the farm. But that's why I get so much joy in packing a shoebox, is because I didn't receive gifts like a lot of children do.
Right.
And I know that what it's like for them to open. Sandy Pontius said the same thing to me. She didn't. She said, I can just envision their faces when they open those boxes, because we didn't get that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most kids today don't know what it's like.
We're spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
But
yeah, I mean, when a child opens up one of these boxes and they receive, there's a number of things: pencils, soccer balls. These I love the idea. They send these flashlights that are without battery.
Pump.
They're solar powered. Is that right?
No, they're hand pump.
Hand pumped flashlights.
Yes.
Because they don't have batteries, and so that's so cool. Things like that. But here's the thing that I would like for my mom to talk about is, it's not just about, which is very important, but it's not just about the toys that these kids are receiving. What else happens?
It's not about the toys at all. That's just a tangible item for them to receive.
Yes.
So that they can learn what God's love is all about. Okay.
Good.
Because in that box, it's strictly about Jesus. and them learning about who Jesus is and
Yeah.
what he can do for them. Because after they receive that shoebox, each and every one of them have an opportunity to go take a 6-week course called The Greatest Journey. And there they learn how to be a disciple. They learn in greater detail about what God is and how he came to this earth to die for them. They learn about Jesus. They learn to go out and to evangelize their families and their friends.
So they even learn, so they get this course, they sign up for this course after receiving this box. They learn what Jesus has done for them and how they can tell others about Jesus. So what we're saying is this box is like literally multiplying itself 10, 20 times over.
Yeah, 10 times. They estimate 10 times each shoebox touches the lives of 10 people.
Say that again.
Each shoebox touches the lives of 10 people.
Now listen to that. Each shoebox touches the life
of 10 people.
10 people.
Or,
So
approximately.
how many shoe boxes last year did you guys send?
We sent 2,031 shoe boxes.
Okay, 2,031 shoe boxes times, just taking that statistic, at least times 10, that's
way over 200,000, isn't
that's over 20,000. Is that right?
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Over 20,000, but that's a lot. I mean, that's like, that's huge.
Yes, it is huge. And as of last year, Operation Christmas Child had sent, I think, well over 150 million shoe boxes around the world.
Wow.
To children of ages 2 through 14.
That would be I can't even add that. Over 2 billion people then would be touched by that, if my multiplication's right, if you times that by 10. Anyway, 1.5 billion is what it would be.
And last year we sent, in this country alone, we sent over 11 million 300 and some thousand shoe boxes.
And these countries are places like, name some of them that these boxes have been to.
Oh, a lot of them go into the different countries in Africa. They go into South America.
Places that we don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't even know where they're at.
Right. Yeah, some of these countries I have to look it up, and find it, because a lot of them I haven't heard of. A lot I have, but.
And you know what I love about this? Not at all to put any other organization down. What I love about the Operation Christmas Child shoebox is you really do know that the people are receiving these boxes. Right. It's not just, it's not to put any other place down, but it's not just receiving a bunch of money and sending the money off somewhere, and you don't know what percentage of that money is actually going to where it's supposed to go. This goes, I'm telling you, this box goes exactly where they say it goes. And I know Pastor Joseph is an African pastor that we met in Zambia. His children in his church received these shoe boxes. Was it last year? I think
right after you guys left last year.
I mean, that was incredible to think that.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact these boxes are changing lives. The other thing that this does, so these kids learn about Jesus, they learn how to share Jesus, and then somehow churches are planted out of these.
Right, they are, because they get, when 10 people for every shoebox in these villages, there's so many people that are coming to Christ, they have to meet somewhere.
Right.
So they plant churches. So that's
cool.
how that it is.
Okay, so
really is.
I'm average Joe, Mom. Tell me what I need to do. This coming month is the month of July, in which you're probably viewing this video right now, is Operation Christmas Child, Christmas in July. We do that every year at New Life Church. So, Mom, tell me, what do I need to do to participate in Christmas in July? What should I do? What are some of the things? How can I give to it?
You can give to it by taking a box or more, one or more boxes, and filling them. And I'd like to stress the point about taking them and letting your little children purchase items for that shoebox.
Why is that?
Because so they learn about giving, and that they also learn that they're sharing Jesus with that other child too.
Yeah, right.
But so it's helping them to learn.
That's good.
And then, but they can take shoe boxes. They can
and you said filling the boxes.
filling the boxes full.
And it would be good.
All new items.
Yes. What can you kind of name off a few? I don't want to put you on the spot, but name
Items?
off. Yeah.
Hygiene items like washcloths. This year we're allowed to send soap. I think that's going to be cut out. But toothbrushes are real important because a family of maybe however many they have in the family share one toothbrush.
Oh my gosh.
And a lot of, yes.
Okay.
So toothbrushes, washcloths for them to wash with. Toys, of course, they're stressing more toys because kids don't get toys, and they love balls. Balls of any soccer balls are great for
Yeah.
the 10 to 14-year-olds. Little balls are great for the small ones. Cars.
Can I ask you what might be a few items not to put in the box?
Anything with liquid
Okay.
or glass.
No liquids and no glasses.
Right.
Glass
You
in
can't
the
do that. No lotions, anything like that. You can't have like
Okay.
shampoo, anything that's any type of liquid.
Okay.
I got a donation just day before yesterday of some lip gloss, and unfortunately I can't use it because it's a liquid.
I see.
So you kind of have to think about it too when you're packing is, can this go?
Can I ask you about if there's somebody watching this video that's sitting there going, wow, I'd like to get involved in that. I would like to make a donation. Maybe you're a store owner or something. How can, like, if I was a business person, in what way could I make a donation? How could I speak to that?
Financially,
Okay.
we need, even though we're doing Hearts on the Altar and we raised 30,000 hopefully this year,
Yeah.
that's only at least no more than half of what we need.
So yeah, tell us what it costs to send a box.
It costs us, it was $30, and you know prices have gone up,
Yeah.
so I haven't really got a total figure on it this year. I know it's more
Yeah.
because everything's gone up, but I'd say around between $30 to $33 a box it costs us
Okay.
to fill a box, and that's me buying in bulk and on sale.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite expensive. You know, as far as your financial support, that would be absolutely
Yeah.
wonderful.
Absolutely.
Because the money that we have is what we buy with, and if we don't have the money, we don't buy.
And I'll tell you what we'll do while we're speaking on this. There'll be a QR code that will give you a link to the giving for Operation Christmas Child that they can send a financial donation to. What would be
Or I might say this: if there is a company of some sort that might want to donate so many soccer balls, you know, and everything's a tax write-off.
Yes.
You know,
Great idea.
if they wanted to donate soccer balls to us, we go through about 500 to 600 soccer balls
Okay.
a year.
Wow.
You know, and for the older boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anything like that, anything that would help us
So you can donate to this financially, material type of donations, pencils or whatever those items were you named.
right.
What's another way I could get involved?
Well, we're gonna have trees out at Christmas in July.
Okay.
Where there's little packages. We've always done that, and they can take the little packages and they'll tell you inside of there what you can bring in. It might be Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
It might be colored pencils.
Yeah.
It might be pencils. It could be coloring books. We always try to put crayons and coloring books and colored pencils in every box.
Yeah.
You know, just something fun for them to do.
Yeah. And what if I want to join Operation Christmas Child Ministry at New Life Church? How do I do that?
You can see me, or you can see Lori. or anybody that's connected with Operation Christmas Child, they'll steer you in the right direction, or let Angela know and she can let me know.
Just call the church office?
Call the church office, right.
Yeah,
And,
great. Yeah. So I have one last question for you as we wrap up. More of maybe a heart question. What is your vision? What is your heartbeat for these children around the world? What's the why? Why should people donate? Why should they get involved? Why?
Well, I guess I've always said if you want to change the world, you got to start with our children. That's that, because you and I are too old to change. We're not going to change our ways, but no. But
we can learn some new tricks, but
you're right. But the children, when they learn about Jesus at a young age, they're going to grow up differently.
Yeah.
Than
and that's
when they're 30s and 40s. If they're going to have a different life, they're going to have a better life.
Yeah. And the world will change.
The world will change. That's right.
And the way you do it is one child at a time, one box at a time.
I had a sign made up for our Operation Christmas Child. It said, "Reach in the world for Jesus, one shoebox at a time."
Wow.
I love it.
That pretty much says it right there, folks. Well, this has been another episode of Unscripted, because we know that life is often unscripted, but God is writing your script. So thank you for watching. This has been a great, great podcast. Let me walk over here and give my mom a big hug.
Oh.
Thanks for doing this, Mom. I love you.
You're welcome. Love you too.